Okay, it's me again. As you can see, I'm still up. Actually, having some problems getting to sleep tonight. Um, there's just a lot of ideas and concepts and shit that's rushing through my head, and I really want to like remember it and maybe share it with people later on. I don't know. I haven't made a decision on it yet, but um, I was kind of thinking about my past and some of the things that have bothered me throughout the years. And one of the big things, one of my drives and one of my um, tools is my parents really didn't um, connect with me at all, if that makes sense. I mean, I don't think anybody's parents really connect with them, and unfortunately they passed on long before they could see the successes that I've had in my life. But that's not what I'm wanting to talk about. But what I'm saying, what I want to say is they made a lot of mistakes with me that I think are still to me unforgivable, um, because not that they were bad mistakes, and it's not like they were beating me or abusing me, but they're mistakes of a blindness, being blind to the needs of your children, to the needs of your family and your environment, and where you bring up your children, where you have your family is very important. And both my parents worked and made good money, very good money, and yet we lived in the slums of Stockton. And for for me growing up in that environment, it was very negative and caused me a lot of problems, and basically put me to the position where I am today. I think with my health and my obviously my mental disorders that I talk about from time to time. But there are things in life. There are mistakes that people make in life that they make that harm you, that are not forgivable, because they were done in a way that is unacceptable under that circumstance, if that makes any sense. Um, you don't you your number one concern as a parent is to bring up your child to the best of your ability, and when you fail that and you don't, I'm watching Richard Pryor at the same time, so I'm scattering, but your obligation to society and to your child is to bring them up in the best environment that you can afford to, and that you can. That's basically it, just that you can afford to. And if you don't do that, you're not doing society or your child right. And so for that little thing, I can't forgive them for that, because there was no reason for that. And I can't forgive them for not participating in my life and for not being there when I needed them and in the way I needed them. Because I would think after 5 other children that they would kind of know the ins and outs, even though parenting isn't an exact science. I'm not a good parent, so I don't have a lot of room to bitch. But it's like you don't have to forgive somebody to love them. You can still love them and appreciate what they do, but you don't have to forgive people for their mistakes. You don't have to forgive that mistake. You can forgive the person for being a human being, but for that mistake, if there's no consequences for a person's action, they have a tendency to repeat it. So if you put a consequence for that action, that you don't forgive that action, then you're saying that that's unacceptable, that behavior, that pattern is unacceptable. And hopefully, if they have their eyes open, that they'll realize that that is not conducive to a positive relationship, and they'll say, okay, shit, I screwed up, I did something wrong. Whereas if you forgive it and say, oh, it's okay, your dad and I forgive for what you do. No, you can't do that because you're not holding that person accountable, whether it's your father, whether it's your mother, whether it's your sister, brother, your best friend, whatever. The action of a person that harms another person doesn't necessarily have to be forgivable. And that's kind of what I realized tonight, because I'm really having some crazy inspirational thoughts. I think it's from the steroids they put me on the, for the cancer. I'm totally wired right now. So it's like I'm just buzzing with ideas and concepts, which I've never had on this level before. It's a very different level. And, you know, sadly, this is my last day of the steroids, so I probably won't be thinking this way tomorrow, but it's all good. I'm getting it now. So, these are just things that I'm coming up with, concepts of things that I've used to be successful in my life. And they're my things. They're what I do. They may not work for you. They may work for you. I'm just doing this to maybe help somebody out with one of their problems, because we got enough problems, and if we don't all contribute to solving each other's issues, then we're really not doing what we should be doing as human beings. So I'm trying to, that's the thing, is going through all this shit with my health and finances, because I can't work after making buttloads of money back in California, and now I'm making nothing because my health is so bad. It makes you realize a lot of different things, and I want to share that with people. So, just enjoy my video and kick back. And yeah, it's kind of long, but fuck it. It's all good in the hood. Peace out.